Alright, a video. Yeah, I haven't made any. I thought I would with the power failure and all. Thought I would be, needing to talk to somebody or say something or do something. And, no, I haven't. Been quite comfortable not, yeah, not doing this. I got out of the habit really quick. So anyway, I don't know if I'll get back into the habit, but we'll see. I did do some writing. I've been writing little things about things. So one page is for life, what it is, and then one page is for arguments, that are persuasive, because that's really the whole game here, is persuasive arguments. You got to persuade people. I have to convince you of something. And then there's a page on physics. Trying to nail that one down. Yeah, that's a fun one. But yeah, it's really hard to think. No electricity. Here that means no water. It means no nothing. It means everything's just horrible. So anyway, 5 days, and it's just kind of, it's getting to my brain. I need a bath so bad. Ugh, all grungy and yuck. Well, I mean, not that much worse than usual, right? The thing that really has saved me is this: they make these little lights you can wear on your head, and I'll just put on the low brightness. But it's really a great thing, It's like for coal miners or something. But this made it all tolerable. Yeah, because you could still get some work done because you can get enough light in front of you to do something. So maybe I'll use that. And then it has multi-purposes. It can also be used as a YouTube auxiliary light. I might be able to advertise it that way. Does, give you a forehead ache after a while, but it really isn't bad. It's not that heavy. Little AAA batteries and they last forever. Because it's, these LCDs. So anyway, yeah, LCDs really are, they're really coming in handy. So when the power comes, yeah, fuck you, JCP&L. Fuck you. 5 days. This is bullshit. Yeah, so I'm not even plugging my refrigerator back in. Hell, I realize there's nothing in there but junk. I mean, I got like 3 things in the refrigerator. Screw it. I'll put them in a bucket of ice in the winter and I'll think of something in the summer. But yeah, hell with that. And hell with, I gotta really quit leaving the computer on. And, yeah, maybe I'll just use all these little LCD things. Screw, the power company any way I can. Try to become independent. Get me a, I don't know, rats or chipmunks or something to sit there and run treadmills all day or something. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, this will run out whenever, so I should be under 15 minutes. This is, that's what it says anyway. You can't trust it though. So I don't know what I'll do. I don't know. I didn't put the timer on. Well, who cares? I'll put it on the other channel if it goes over. So anyway, yeah, it's just the same, argument though. What the truth is, and my first words here are convincing and persuading. Convincing and persuading. And you do say, okay, obviously there's a lot of that needs to get done, because you got a whole shitload of these people who believe in complete fairy tales, the religion stuff. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I really don't feel great. Yeah, I don't have it. Yeah, life is just really, it's obnoxiously difficult. At times. So anyway, so yeah, it's just, we're all living in the same world, and you're just saying, well, why can't this should be like slam dunk, well, that's, slam dunks are a little difficult. This should be like, even baking pie is easy. This should be like, yeah, pissing in the toilet. I mean, it shouldn't be that much of a challenge. Getting this basic stuff right, about what we are and what we're doing here and what the real game is. Look, it all fits on a piece of paper. It really isn't that much. So we'll run down. Maybe I'll just run down really quick and then do more detail if I got time. But yeah, so you got premises and then you got logical conclusions. So the premises are, it's a physical universe. It's doing its mechanical thing. What happens is chemistry does this little thing, creates this little DNA molecule. right? And then the right circumstances, the right parts come together, and it reproduces itself. It makes a reproducible copy. That is a copy that can reproduce. I mean, it's one thing to copy yourself, and it just stops there because, you know, your copy doesn't have the faculties to reproduce itself. But these are identical copies in a sense that they reproduce like the original copy. And so that's what it all is. It's just one event. So that's the first cause, so to speak, when it comes to life. You can trace it to one cell, one time reproducing. One time it happened. So it just keeps doing this. It keeps doing this reproducing thing. Billions of years. And then finally, after billions of years, it develops neurology, reflexive systems, systems that would enable it to chase the light because there's going to be more food where the light is. These kind of little mechanisms, little reflexes. And then those reflexes finally get to a point where it says ouch, in the first ouch. So then you got another first cause event. You got another, there it happened for the first time with that individual organism that's now complicated enough that this idea of a negative sensation, fills it. It feels negative. It doesn't just sense. It doesn't just reflexive react. It feels it first and then reacts. Because obviously feeling without being able to react would be really, really useless. So then you have the beginning of what's called psychology, and I would say psychology is just one brain against another. The feeling brain, the thinking brain, the answer brain. So, one brain creates the problem in a way it can deal with it, like ouch or ooh, that hunger, these basic sensations. And the other brain says, okay, I got to work on those sensations because I want to get more of the good ones and I want to get rid of those ones that ain't so good. And it's sort of the invention of psychology. And then the whole contrivance of it is just so obvious. We can see the mechanisms, the strongest drives, hunger and, sex. These are all about consuming and reproducing. They're the thing. These are all just engineered to motivate us, to give us incentives, to keep placing psychological carrots in front of us and psychological whips behind us, to keep us marching through the life game. And it's all just to create this attraction-repulsion mechanism to keep us, to help us, help navigate the mush. So over time now we've got this really abstract imagination kind of consciousness going in mammals. And we've taken that to the next step, which is an educated knowledge base. So now, for, let's say, 40,000 years ago, we weren't much better than a dumb animal. No vocabulary, just, raw, crude signaling to each other. And now we've got 40,000 years later, land on the moon, organized conversation. I can even have a conversation about conversing and about attempting to persuade through argumentation, and that there's rules of argumentation and rules of logic, and you can't contradict, and you can't do this, and you can't. All this bullshit. It's not bullshit, but I mean, all this more refined and articulate and surgical kind of functionality. So our model of the universe, our mental model, our intelligence that functions to react to what we feel in its origin, can now go off on little adventures by itself. It can go off on for pure fantasy, or it can go off imagining, and it can engineer now. It can do all kinds of things with that imagination. Now it can imagine how to better construct something, or how to fix a flaw, or how to repair, or how to make something more efficient or productive. And then now that we have that tool of knowledge and understanding of the mechanics of the world, I know there's a huge number of people who aren't going to accept the mechanics, if I say the mechanics of the world, because they still want to believe in, tooth fairies and Alice in Wonderland and Hansel and Gretel, and they're all out there, Wizard of Oz, and the whole thing. They want to keep believing in the mumbo jumbo. But this is all it is. It's just psychology, manifested on a reproducing molecule, attached to a reproducing molecule that intends that is mission oriented by its engineering over billions of years to be a survival machine, and it intends to get into the future, get that genetic code into the future. That's what gets rewarded over time, and so that's what the molecules tend to want to do. Want, tricky word. That's what they're constructed to do. Make it simple. All right, so now that we're getting toward the end here now. So now we're smart enough. We got this information. Now we can look at ourselves, our own psychology. We can dissect it. We can, take apart the whole game we're playing, and it's a game. And it's a game. There just is no way to win. You're going to age and you're going to die for sure. Those are big losses, right? Neither one of those things is any fun. And along the way, you're going to hit some suffering moguls and lumps and hills and sometimes mountains. And, there's going to be a lot of, I don't feel too good kind of crap. Not a lot, but for some people, yeah. It's going to be work getting through this life thing. And your grand prize is, I get to brag I survived. Big deal. The losses will never be more valuable. The gains will never be. The little victories you have, your little first this and first that, and I got this and I did it better than him. Because every time you do that kind of stuff, the ego crap, the ego gratifications are usually made out of somebody else losing. So in net, it's no win, because you're basically feeding on somebody else's, failure. That's a zero sum in overall game theory perspective. The nihilist thing I don't want to get into again, but yeah, if you think there's some way you can win this game as an individual player, and that you can even that it's rational to even play the game as an individual player, then you're just too stupid for words. How do I even communicate with you? You can't figure out that all the pawns are of equal value. You can't figure out that it doesn't matter who does what. It just matters that the does what is taking place. You really can't? Raise your hand if you can't figure out that you're not the center of the universe, and that whatever you possess, all these other organisms also possess, and the value is in them. You're like saying you're the special diamond or something. You're the better diamond, or you're Magno diamond, and that you can crush 10 other diamonds and save you, and somehow it makes a difference. No, none of that makes any sense. It's bullshit. You're like any other toy train coming out of the factory, and the equation is how many toy trains are wrecking, for your joy train ride, your little engine that could bullshit, Sisyphusing up hills and down hills. For no good reason. So anyway, so that's the biggest part of the argument, though, I suppose, is the mindset of the average human that's going to always weigh survival